How goes the family? Welcome back to LarrysAnythingGoes. Hopefully you guys having a great and exceptional evening. Now, I usually don't go live on Sundays like that, but I said I'm gonna have a crazy week, so I was like, let me get this done. And hey, I'm actually happy because I know usually when I go live it's during the week after I've had a long hard workout and I'm not as energetic as I should be. So try to make it more of a habit of going live on the weekends. It is what it is. Anyways, so subject matter today is the economy is like the entertainment industry. And the entertainment industry, I dabbled in it as a child. To be honest with you, as a kid, I wanted to be an actor and a singer and a rapper, all of the above when it came to entertainment. Definitely not sports because I was not that. I'm way more athletic now as an adult than I was as a child and whatnot. I was much more of a lazier child unless it came to, playing games out in the streets and whatnot. But once I wanted to get home, I wanted to do nothing, but my parents wasn't having that nonsense. But anyways, so Hollywood. In today's beautiful world, one thing we have the pleasure of doing is you hear a lot of celebrities, comedians, and various different entertainers, and even agents and people who work within the entertainment industry from all aspects, all different levels, talk about the beauty and the evils of the entertainment industry. And the entertainment industry, being a person who's been to Los Angeles a bunch of times, I look at it more subjunctively and objectively, and with a different perspective when I go to LA now because I've been there so much. So it's like I'm not doing the tourist stuff, but and even heck, seeing a celebrity end up being homeless or whatnot because of drugs, alcohol, whatever the case may be. And that's another reason. Even before I go into my rant, one thing I want to say is it's a sad life if you have to remain intoxicated and in order for one to get by in this life. The self-medication era, that's really big and really real nowadays. And I'm not mad at people that like to smoke weed. I'm not mad at people that like to get the drink on, but it's one thing to do it because you want to relax and chill. Another thing when you have to do it because you're dependent on it. My personal opinion. I think the only thing that anybody should be dependent on in this life is love and happiness and being goal-oriented, going after things. My personal opinion, I'll leave it at that. But if one has to always be high in order to be able to get by, I remember the first time I heard that saying from Tupac. He said, used to get high just to get, I heard that from DMX. And I didn't realize that it was actually true. He said in his song Slippin', he says, I used to get high just to get by. Used to have to puff my L in the morning just to get fly. And it was like, and the saddest thing is that was the truth. Like I know that it said allegedly that, because he died, DMX looked like he was 60 years old when he died, but he was 51 years old and he should still be here now. But that's one of the saddest things. But anyways, that's why, when it boils down to health, it's your wealth. So do your best to take care of yourself. But anyways, so DMX, I remember he smoked blunts, but he smoked blunts with crack on them. And he got addicted to crack. And that's, clearly that's another kind of high because he had two, quote unquote narcotics within one. I'm not a fan of substance abuse. I'm not going to ever promote it, but apparently that was his addiction. And I could tell like the last 2 years of DMX's life, you could tell he wasn't the happiest person. I remember he would cry more, he prayed more, and he just was not in a happy place, unfortunately. Sad to say. But at the end of the day, when I was and it's becoming like it was more like drugs isn't anything new. Okay, let's just keep it real. Drugs it's not a new thing, but I will say that it was known in Hollywood back in the day, and it's true to this day. Seeing somebody, having to, getting high, unfortunately committing some sort of sexual acts, which I don't condone any of that. But getting high and having to do certain sexual acts in order for people to get a part, get their script looked at, or whatever the case may be. This has become a normal thing, unfortunately. In certain aspects of Hollywood, not all. But like in every industry in this world, not just in the United States, has a dark corner of it. But for a lot of supermodels, they had to, utilize certain drugs in order for them to get by and do certain things. Like I said, some people, men and women, and especially specifically in today's world, I know it was mostly women back in the day, but men and women were coerced into having sex with somebody on the set in order for them to keep their job, or in order for them to get their job. Or they had to do some sort of other demeaning act in order for one to get a job, keep their job, or get a promotion. Okay. Like when Cat Williams was talking on Club Shay Shay this year, which is, I think like on New Year's night, I'm going to watch his interview again on Club Shay Shay, because that's what broke the internet. Well, but when he was talking about, like, he walks into certain rooms and people put their heads down because he knows what these people have done in order for them to get to where they're at in Hollywood. It's crazy. And I say, the topic of this video is the economy is like the entertainment industry. It's because I see more and more people, working people, unfortunately, have to do a lot of things in order just to get by. Not just having to work a job, but having to be coerced into doing things that they don't want to do, which, could put themselves in a life-threatening situation, could put themselves in a situation to where that their family is harmed, not just themselves, the family could be harmed. They have to live in a certain place where they don't want to specifically live in order for them just to make a living. But they're miserable as all get out. Like I said, I come from the DMV area, and I'd have to say probably 60 to 70% of the transplants that come to the DMV do not want to be in the DMV area anymore. Excuse me. But they can't go anywhere else because they can't make a living doing what they do anywhere else. And if they do, then it won't be the same amount of money. And then when they get to a certain age, they end up saying, you know what? I'm good. I'm not trying to do anything else. I'm stuck. And heck, we've all been in those situations where we just feel stuck and we're in a rut. And we feel like we just can't get out of the hole that we're in. We can't get out of the situation that we're in. And I've been there on multiple occasions, on some realness. So I can just be perfectly honest about that. But like I said, are you going to be that person always, in order for you to, are you going to just sit down in a corner and be basic in order for you not to go after your goals and aspirations? Or are you just going to, as they say, suck it up, buttercup, and deal with the nonsense? Are you going to do things that are demeaning to you, that make you feel less than? In a sense, put to a point where it could give you a heart attack in the shock. When I mean heart attack or shock, you'd probably be like, LJ, Larry, what are you talking about? Certain sexual acts, which I don't condone. Are you going to live a mediocre, basic lifestyle when you know that there's this raging animal beast inside you that says, I deserve more, I want more, I need to work towards having more? And the older I get, the more people I meet that I grew up with, or the people I meet, I just notice that they just have this basic, I want to be, go sit down somewhere and do nothing and binge on sports and entertainment. So I'll be right back, family. My dog has to go to the bathroom. 1 second. All right, sorry about that, folks. If you know my content, my dog is like my child, so he needs something, he's gonna get it regardless of the situation. But I'm actually glad he interrupted this scheduled program. Isn't that right, Max? But yeah, so at the end of the day, though, one thing I will say with all sincerity is that another reason why I chose this topic, when I say that the economy is like the entertainment industry, because the economy has changed tremendously. Everything since specifically the pandemic has changed everything. And I mean everything. People's attitudes about life, work-life balance, where people want to live, the careers people want to have, the businesses people want to start or not have changed, And like I said, I always say, look, I think that the changes that COVID implemented were going to happen. Maybe they probably would have started to happen either this year, 2024, or 2025, at the latest 2026. But with the shutdown, it just accelerated. People, like I said, people being able to sit around, people making money passively more, people being able to move more, move to other places, other countries, other states and cities, and just, broadening people's perspectives and changing people's minds. I mean, everything's changed. No matter what, I know this stupid elections are almost here. I'm actually can't wait for it to be over with, but I know sad thing is when this dumb election's over with, because I'm not voting. I don't care for either candidate. But I know when this election's over with, whoever wins, the media won't shut the heck up about it. Celebrities won't shut the heck up about it. So I'll be tuning out more. But anyways, I digress. Let's get back to the topic at hand. But the economy, is just like Hollywood in a sense. When I say that, it's because everybody's mindsets have changed in the work-life balance, how they want to live, where they want to live, and what they want to do as far as how to make their money, how a lot of people have moved to third world countries because they make money passively. Like, it's not talked about enough that there's a lot of American expats living in Mexico, living in South Africa, living in Nicaragua, living in Dominican Republic. It's not talked about enough. Living in Ghana, living in Nigeria, it's not talked about enough. The digital nomads, as they call themselves, people who make money online, people who might live in Colombia. The list goes on and on. Brazil, because the amount of money that they're making working online. If you're making American six figures, and you live in Colombia, Brazil, or Panama, your money's going to go a lot further. Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, your money's going to go a lot further. Mexico, your money's going to go a lot further. The world is way more. COVID even made the world much more international now. But getting back to the subject at hand when it comes to entertainment, the entertainment industry has changed tremendously. Hollywood, a lot of people say Hollywood is dead, and in a sense, it is. My personal opinion. And the reason why I say is because most of the TV shows and the movies that are out nowadays are garbage. The amount of money that people even make on a show or a movie, heck, even in the music industry, isn't as much as they used to make. Heck, artists really only make their money nowadays not by selling music or streaming music, but they make their money by touring and selling merchandise and on social media. Heck, T-Pain makes more money talking about video games on Twitch than he does performing, so he stopped performing. Dollars make sense. The world has changed. The world has changed. And, and then so a great example, you have a comedian like a Corey Holcomb. You have a comedian, because I'll even talk about the comics, and I've seen these people both perform live. You have a comedian like Godfrey. I love these guys. Seen them this year, and then saw them last year. So love them all. Got another love. Got to see Godfrey and Corey Holcomb back in February in Los Angeles, in Ontario. That was love. Got to see Godfrey and Corey Holcomb in Washington, D.C. That was love. So this is nothing negative about any of these great gentlemen that are comedic geniuses. By the way, Godfrey, if you're watching, I'm sure you're not, but if you are, I finally finished that book, on the real side. It's considered a history of African American comedy from slavery to Chris Rock. Great book, check it out. It's got Richard Pryor on the cover. Great book. But anyways, if it wasn't for social media platforms, like Corey Holcomb has the 5150 show, Godfrey has the Godfrey podcast on Gas Digital Network. If it wasn't for social media, nobody would really know who these people are and they were able to run with the ball with social media because the mainstream, i.e. Netflix and any other, HBO, they were not messing with comedians like that. So these people utilize social media, and that's why their names still ring strong. That's why they still have a great following. That's why when they show up in the town, they put on a good show. And people like me show up because especially if I go to DC, the main city, like 2 cities in America, I'm not a fan of going to. And that's Washington, DC and New York City. Nothing against the locals. I just hate the road structure. I guess you can call me old fashioned, but I like to be able to go, if I want to go to a city and spend my money, I like to be able to get in the car and drive around and not have to worry about parking or getting robbed. So I'll leave that alone. New York City, not a friendly driving city. One of the worst cities in America to drive in. And DC's number 2 on that. But New York City is number 1 worst city to drive in. So I leave it at that too. Both cities overcrowded, overpriced, and just over everything. But anyways, I'll leave it at that. Okay. LA can be as bad, but the difference is with LA, it's still easier to drive in Los Angeles. It's easier to find parking in Los Angeles. And what else? Everything's much more convenient in Los Angeles. So I just leave it at that. But anyways, I digress. Because of social media, the people who are considered to be industry favorites, nobody pays attention to them like that anymore. People are like, you know what? I'll go watch this person on YouTube or on Patreon or whatever the case may be, because the stuff I'm seeing on Hulu and Netflix and anything else is not really resonating with me. And that's how the U.S. economy is at the same time right now, especially since the pandemic. More and more people have become digital nomads, making money online, whether it's via social media, creating content, selling merchandise, affiliate marketing networks, purchasing a bunch of real estate, or just people going old fashioned with it and buying into a franchise, teaming up with other people, which that is the thing I always am jealous of the most when it comes to any adults, when they have a group of people, whether it's men or women, that are all about business, making money moves, and not just having a job and raising a family and being basic. Nothing wrong with doing that, but the people that are willing to think and live outside the box, those are the ones that I admire the most nowadays. I despise being around basic the older I get. But the U.S. economy has transformed and is continuously transforming, because more and more of the workforce is like, hey, I want to work to have options. I don't want to just work to have a job and be an obedient employee. And that's how it is in the entertainment industry. Like reading Nipsey Hussle's book, he went into the music industry saying, hey, I'm not just trying to get in advance. I want equity when it comes to the music that I make. And then eventually therefore, if I want equity, I want to sign a distribution deal. I don't want to just sign a regular record deal. And if I sign a record deal, I want there to be a time frame on it, and I'll make my money, do what I got to do, and then I put myself in position in order for me to not need the industry and be independent. That's thinking like a boss and not like an employee. And more people who have jobs nowadays have trying to think like a boss and not just an employee. Because like I said, a lot of the companies of the future, great example. A lot of the countries of the future will be like Damon Dash, and they'll say, hey, I don't want to employ anybody who wants to be, who just wants to be an employee, doesn't have a dream to do something different and outside of the box. And when I first heard that, I was like, you know what? That's boss energy. That's real boss energy. I vibe with that energy. I like that, because you don't really hear people talking like that anymore. I mean, you don't really hear talking anymore. You don't really hear people talking like that, period, nowadays. So when somebody's talking like that, hey, I don't want to hire you if you just want to be an employee. Most CEOs and most managers don't want their employees talking like that. But that's being forward thinking. My former coworker said you worked at a place where people had more of a forward thinking mentality. Okay. You're in a place where people don't have a forward thinking mentality. They're still stuck in the 1990s. So, and I say this to the youth, it's like, I don't care what job you're at. You should definitely want to be at a job that has a forward thinking mentality, because that's going to be the job that can help transition you whatever career or business that you're trying to transition into in the future. And that's real. Okay, that's, and those, because those are the future. That's the future. That's the leaders of tomorrow, man. And unfortunately, a lot of schools, not some but not all, don't prepare people for that, for the future. They just truly don't. And that's why I said it's like, would you, do you want to be around that kind of energy of people thinking outside the box and doing different things? Or do you want to just be around people that just want to be stale and stagnated? Like I said, the older I get, I never understood why, back then, I didn't understand why I didn't like being around people with a lot of basic energy. But the older I get, the more I understand it. That's the crazy thing. The older I get, the more I understand it. I was like, yeah, this is not for me. I don't think I'm better than these people. I just know that this is not for me. And I gotta get away from this because I want to vibe with other energy. This ain't it. And that's just what it is at the end of the day. So that's why I say the U.S. economy is like Hollywood, because the transition is real. And are you willing to accept the transition, or are you going to fight the transition? Only you can answer that question. Only you. Because it's not going to go back to the, it's like, I remember saying and hearing the phrase, I just wish that things would go back to the way they used to be. During the lockdown pandemic, because a lot of states didn't lock down, but my state did. But then I remember hearing the phrase, things are never going to be the same again. That was a wow moment for me. And that's because that's where I'm at right now. Is just like, hey, things are never going to be the same. And they aren't. I might have talked about this, but I know I talked about this with somebody else. A friend of mine at his job was saying, it was the Navy's birthday the other day. I think I did talk about this. And he remembers before the pandemic how more and more people would show up to events because they were passionate about the mission of their job. They were passionate about the agency or the office that they worked for. They were passionate about the environment. And then, I think this was last week, he went to the ceremony. It was for the Navy's birthday. Happy birthday to the Navy. Much respect and love to all the veterans out there. He was surprised that there was like barely any civilians there. Majority of the people that were there were in uniform because they had to be there. But the rest of the people that were there, you could just tell they didn't want to be there. And I said to him, well, you got to remember, things have changed. Things, he's like, the pandemic. I said, look, the pandemic allowed a lot of people to think. and to see things for what they truly are. So you have a new, like, I mean, for me, like I said, it changed me, because before the pandemic, I was slowly like, okay, I'm tired of politics and politicians. But then when the pandemic officially happened, I was like, yeah, this ain't for me anymore. And I respect people who want to vote or don't want to vote, or whoever they wanted to vote for, that's your business. But like I said, for me, things change tremendously. And I have a different perspective, so therefore I act accordingly. But that's what life is supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about growth. I mean, like I said, you look at the entertainment industry, they're not selling DVDs and CDs like that anymore. Everything's streamed. It still baffles me that I still see Netflix, Redbox from Netflix, because that's how Netflix started off, with DVDs. But they still have them in certain places. But evolution, you evolve, you disappear. And it's the same thing with the U.S. economy. You evolve and disappear. I've had people, when you lose a job because of a company situation, the company's been dismantled, or you made one mistake, it puts things into perspective. Everything that happens in this life to all of us is supposed to put things into perspective and help us evolve. And if it doesn't kill you, it's supposed to make you stronger. And that's why, it's like I had a rant earlier talking about the biggest money move anybody can make is love, peace, happiness, life. And I don't disagree with that. But the first, like I said, it has to be even keel, it has the common ground, unlike politicians. People have to have this common ground in their life. Okay. And the common ground is very simple. The money moves must be made from two aspects. I have to make the money, save the money, make the money, save the money, invest the money, increase my income, increase my value, rinse and repeat. And then let me enjoy life. Let me have new experiences. Let me meet new people. Let me go to new places, whether it's new cities, states, or countries. Let me break the monotony of my mundane, basic 9-to-5 life. And let me not just go someplace and get drunk and get high and be on social media. Let me actually indulge in it. These are things that should matter to you. I'm not preaching. I'm not casting stones in a glass house. I'm not perfect by any means. But these things should be important to you. Okay, for your evolution. Because the world's going to pass you by regardless of the situation. Trust and believe that. Okay. You can move to another country. You can move to a small town and sit in the sticks and do whatever you want to do. That's on you. I'm not mad at you. But if things don't work out the way you want because that's all you wanted to do, well, that's all you wanted to do. That's why I said, me personally, not a fan of being around basic energy. Period. So, but yes, the U.S. economy is like Hollywood, because the aspects of it are dying and the other aspects of it are growing. But the job market in either situation, it will never be the same. So what are you doing to ensure that you are financially safe? Are you increasing your value, income? Are you increasing your savings? Are you increasing your assets? Are you engaging with people? Like, it's football Sunday, not mad at my football fans, but can you become as passionate about life as you do a football game? Can you become as passionate about your career or your business and having assets as you do as a football game or a video game? Only you can answer that question. There's nothing wrong about being passionate about a football game. Nothing wrong being passionate about a video game. Heck, a lot of people make money streaming, talking about those two specific subject matters. So that's why I will not crap on people that do that. But will you have the business and investor mindset? like I said, the world has changed, and it's not going to go back to the way life was before the pandemic. Like, things are advancing more and more so fast that none of us can keep up with it. But are you willing to do it? Only you can answer that question. You know, that's all I can say. It's a crazy world we live in. It's crazy yet interesting, but crazy world at that. Okay, straight up and down. Straight up and down. So either you're going to evolve or you're going to disappear. Or as, what is it? In the movie Training Day, what's his name? Denzel Washington said, either you're going to be a wolf or a sheep. You have to make a choice. And that's where we are now. Either you're going to be a wolf or a sheep. Period. And the choice is up to you. I leave it at that. You know, I'd keep it simple, family. That's all I have for tonight. You know, the reason why there was a writer's strike back in 2023 is because people wanted a better, fairer deal in regards to equity. People, you know, writers, people's images, people's voices. They wanted to ensure that, you know, that certain people within Hollywood couldn't use these people's voices and images and just, you know, let AI take over. Excuse me. They wanted to have that, you know, in their contract to say, hey, you can't use my voice and my face and then, you know, create a digital product out of it and I don't get any equity out of it. And a lot of instances, not all, some, but not all, because there's no, you know, as Zoe Williams would say, there are no absolutes in this life. And I have to agree with that statement. But that's, you know, that's the power of a union, number one. Unions are good and bad, especially specifically who's utilizing the union. Because in this life, everything's about leverage. You know, regardless, you know, since it's election season, regardless of who's in the White House, Governor's House, Mayor's House, City Council, Congress people, Senate, state, whatever the case may be. Everything's about leverage. Relationships are about leverage, power dynamics, as Jason Black would say. But everything's about leverage. What do you bring to the table? And then are you at the point where, okay, you're leveling up while you're sitting at this table, or are you remaining stagnated while you're sitting at this table? Are you regressing as you're sitting at this table? When I first got into the job market as a younger 20-something, people would come and go from jobs all the time when I was a contractor back then at different companies, worked for different companies. People would come and go because they would leave their job because they were going to make more money at another job. Now, they might have to have more headaches. They might have to have more of a commute. But their whole thing was, look, it was like the old school movie Jerry Maguire with, I wanted to say Tom Hanks, but it's not Tom Hanks. Tom Cruise, yeah. With Tom Cruise, he said, show me the money. And that's what it, you know, a lot of times that would happen, you know, like I remember one gentleman went to my old boss and he said, I can't believe how long ago this was, 20 years ago. And he said, hey, I got a job offer. I'd like to stay here. Can you ensure that I get this amount of money? And, you know, the boss looked at him like he was crazy and thought he was a jerk for doing that. But you know, now back then I didn't realize it because I was in my early 20s. But now that I'm 41 years old, I'm like, I get it. It's like, hey, this is how much I'm getting paid. I'm going to get paid if I accept this job. Can you counter at least? Can you meet me halfway? That's what the guy said. And my boss was like, yeah, that's not going to happen. Good luck. And my boss thought he was a jerk for that. I'm just like, the man has a family to raise. He's got to make his money. I remember working with another guy. Now he's like a director somewhere in another organization. He left the security, took the chances. This guy made, he went back to the military as a reservist to keep his benefits. He left working for a government entity and went to work in the private sector so he could get paid what he wanted to get paid. Smooth and sharp. And then he ended up coming back into government service at the money that he wanted. And he was able to get promoted. And now he's a director. Go-getter. Leveling up, constantly leveling up. I didn't realize it would do that, my green screen. But yeah, constantly leveling up. Make money moves or you don't live broke like a fool. So I get it. That's why I said it's like when I think about this stuff now, it's a trip, but it's just what it is. Okay? It's truly what it is. And you got to, like I said, at the end of the day, I respect that. I truly, truly respect it. You have to be able to try to level up, or you will, you own to be owned, as Andre Hatchett would say. Own your businesses, own your time and space. Fatherhood University. One of my best friends, like I said, he's learned that, hey, no matter who you work for, no matter what the situation may be, it's all about leverage. Do you have the skill sets? Do you have and now, like I said, we're in the age of AI where a lot of skill sets are going to be automated. A lot of jobs are going to disappear. That's why it is imperative for people to think outside the box, own as much assets as possible, have as many backup plans as possible. Stop worrying about a union agency to unionize the people at your job. Everybody needs to form their own union in regards to economic togetherness with your friends and family. Because that's one of the things that's killing American workers, is just the lack of economic family and partnership. That's the only thing I always give people that are immigrants to the United States. They have that family economic cohesiveness, whether it work looking out for each other, whether it comes to money, fixing something, exchange of information. They got that network. And that's the coolest union to be a part of. And that's one thing that has slowly died. Not slowly. That's one thing that has died and is still dying a fast, not slow death. Is family economic togetherness as American citizens. But that's all I got. Do your best to form what you can form and go from there. But forming your own union, because we're all the CEOs of our own lives. But the thing is, the CEO eventually has to answer to somebody. And are you going to answer to somebody? You can deal with the board of directors. What are you going to do? Or are you just going to try to be a basic employee and hope for the best? And unfortunately, I think that's where everybody's at. Not everybody, but once again, no absolutes. A lot of people just want to be basic and not be bothered. And it's one of the saddest things on the planet, but what do I know? So on that note, family, as Booker T would say,
don't hate the player, hate the game.
Don't hate the player, hate the game. Do the great DeFi things, like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day. Don't forget, if you're a stock market investor, crypto investor, individual retirement account investor, all that good stuff, bond investor, don't forget to check out WEBULL, Stash, Acorns, Crypto.com, Coinbase, all those platforms you'll be able to make some money moves. I get a little bit of money after you guys click the referral links in the description below, and we go from there. But either way, hopefully you guys have a great evening, have a great week, and if I have the time, I'll make another video before I head out on my trip this week. But if not, what I always say, make money moves, or you're gonna live broke like a fool. Or the guy in my gym who like to say, bienvenido a la vida, which basically stands for welcome to the life. Take care. I'm out. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Larry's Anything Goes. Hopefully, you're having a great day. If you've been watching Larry's Anything Goes programming, you know that we are not only providing great financial intelligence content as much as possible by interviewing other financial professionals, professionals in the travel industry, real estate industry, etc., and so forth, but we provide various services when it comes to specific products that we sell, from anything that you would actually find on Amazon or actually at Walmart, etc., and so forth. And we are actually providing specific products due to today's current crisis and whatnot to ensure that we provide the right services and products that you need at a reasonable price when it comes to medical face masks, when it comes to hand sanitizer, and when it comes to latex gloves and things of that nature, and etc., and so forth, toilet paper, paper towels. But we have what you need. Also, family, don't forget that Larry's Anything Goes is a part of an affiliate marketing network known as Gold Standard Partners, where you have the opportunity to buy cryptocurrency and allow others to invest with you as becoming an affiliate marketing partner. And obviously, if they purchase a package with the program, you're able to make money off their package purchases and make money off of their crypto purchases and things of that nature. If you want to join, please follow the links in the description, and I'll give you a call as soon as you sign up and purchase a package, and we'll go from there. But definitely, it's all about the best way to make money moves is to have currency with one another and to ensure that currency is always being spoken of on all levels so it benefits everyone and not just one specific person. That's a lot of things that people forget about. So think about joining the program and we'll be able to go from there. But if not, either way, it's always appreciated. And thank you for watching. And hopefully you guys have a great day and continuously make money moves so you don't live broke like a fool. Take care. As you can see, with our various products, we have our financial apparel, as you see, wearing There's Anything Goes t-shirt, financial intelligence is sexy, face masks, latex gloves, things of that nature, to obviously ensure the safety of you and your family all at the same time. We want to ensure that you get the best products and see the actual products that we're actually providing for you, and giving you another view of not only the shirts and the medical masks, but actually another view of actual latex gloves and the actual hand sanitizer. Because one thing we've learned throughout this unfortunate crisis is that we have to take more precautionary measures to ensure not only the safety for ourselves, but for our families. And having a great pair of hand sanitizers, latex gloves, and medical face masks will ensure that safety. And with all that being said, hopefully you guys will check out our online store. We have the various products that you see here. With a couple of clicks, especially if you're paying via PayPal, it makes life that much easier for you to purchase our various products, especially during this unfortunate situation. You see the apparel from Larry's Anything Goes. We have the medical products when it comes to hand sanitizer, latex gloves, medical face masks, things of that nature, and various other products. So please check out Larry's Anything Goes. Support small local businesses. We greatly appreciate it, and hopefully that you have a good day.
Michael. Now.